Are you excited about what you do? Are you passionate about what you do? Are you happy with your sales performance, the way your business is growing? Are you happy with your personal life? Or are you struggling in sales? Your business is not growing. It's not effective. You're having personal problems in your personal life. You ever wonder why that is? I'll give you a little hint. Your actions, what you do, is tied to your thoughts. No ways around that. So whether you're a salesman, an entrepreneur, a businessman, a husband, a brother, a father, an uncle, just a person, your actions are tied to your thoughts. Welcome to the Paul Cruz Show. I hope everyone is doing well. I hope everyone had a very successful day. Before we dig into this powerful, loaded topic, if you're watching this on YouTube, hit the subscription button below. If you like it, share your comments and share the video with others. Now, the way you train is the way you will perform. No doubt about that. Let me give you an example about sales. For me personally, as a professional salesman for 30 plus years, selling at every level you can think of, from real estate, taking companies public, doing reverse mergers, acquisitions, selling stocks, or trading the currency. Selling or sales is a mindset. The question is, how is your mindset? Closing a deal or converting a lead into a sale or a prospect into a customer is an attitude. I know a lot of salespeople that are really good telling stories but couldn't close a door because they like to hear themselves talk, because that's how they train their mind. Because again, your actions are tied to your thoughts. So the way you train your mind is the way you will perform and take action. What you train or how you train your mind, what you're allowed to enter your mind, is what you're going to speak. And what you speak, unless you flat out lying, you're going to take that course of action. And here's what I mean by this. Human nature, we intend to make excuses when things go wrong or they go astray, because we are afraid of dealing with the truth, because it's the way we're training our minds to think. So when you have the right mindset and you train your mindset the right way, you will perform the right way. So instead of giving excuses for things not happening or things going wrong, you focus on the cause of how you thought or how you think, and you will get results. I'm going to give an example again, of a personal example. When I was a runner, and I love running, I actually gave it up 3 years ago because I got hurt. You had to build a certain mind. You had to discipline your mind, or I had to discipline my mind. I had to have the right thoughts going into my daily run. Whether it was 10 miles or 20 miles or 5 miles, doesn't matter. What type of training I was going to do. I had to prepare my mind so that I can perform. But here's the thing is the training was the hardest part. Running a race to me was the easiest part. But I was performing based upon how I was training. Also, as a former martial artist, how you train as a martial artist, meaning fundamentals. The right way to kick, the right way to punch, the right way to block and defend. There's many facets to it. But the way you know if you're training right is when you're in a tournament or you're practicing with other martial artists in the school and you're being exposed by your weaknesses. Now, some may be more advanced than you or than me, but you will know by the way you train how competitive you can be. Let's use another example. Let's look at top athletes. For example, Tom Brady, LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, Floyd Mayweather. You could look at real estate moguls, business owners that own big corporations, musicians, artists. The way they think and the way they train is the way they will perform. That's the fundamental. That's how you build a foundation. Because the most powerful tool we have is the ability to think or not think. As I mentioned before, there's two ways we take action. We either need to do something or we want to do something. And being in sales for a long time, one thing I've learned is that's the way people buy. They either want something, which is an easier sale for me because it's emotional, or they need something, which is a harder sale because they don't want to do it. But the way I train my mind is how to convert that person that knows they need to do it, doesn't want to do it, and persuade them for their benefit that they want to do it. So just think about that. Ask yourself that question. How am I training? How am I performing? Because it's cause and effects. Something happens because something caused it to happen. Does that make sense, everybody? Now, ask yourself, how is my sales mindset if you're a salesperson? Or if you're an entrepreneur or a business owner? How is your daily mindset? How are you training your mind to think? And why do you think the way you think? Do you allow the right training or what I call the right information to enter your mind? With social media and getting access to information, what you allow to enter your mind is what you're going to think about. How do you know what's right? How do you know what's wrong? Have you proved it? Have you investigated it? Because at the end, that's going to affect you in every facet of your life, whether it's in sales, business, personal. It's the way it is. So the mind and how you train it is the foundation to all of your actions, to what you do. So for example, if you're passionate about what you do, you love what you do, your mindset is so strong because you have that strong enough why. You train your mind. How to do what you're going to do after that is even more powerful because you're going to take the action necessary to get the result you're looking for. Also, there's an acronym called GIGO. Some of you might have heard of it, some of you may not. But those of you who haven't, maybe there's something new you learn. GIGO. Stands for garbage in, garbage out. Just think about that. When you listen to the music that's being produced today, which I don't consider music, that's just my personal opinion, is violent, is vulgar, is perverted, and it leads to wrong consequences because you allow your mind to receive that. Why? Because it creates an emotion. When you watch movies, I don't watch movies, been 15 years, but look at the movies being produced today. It's violent, it's immoral, it's filled with drug scenes and violent scenes and sexual scenes. Whether you want to accept it or not, it changes the way you think because you're training your mind. Then you start to take the action in your personal life and your business, and you justify it that it's okay because your mind got programmed through the movies, through the music, through the advertising. And whether you want to accept this or not, we're all being manipulated at least 1,000 times a day in advertisements, even more so because of the internet. So if you're struggling in sales, especially with this pandemic that's out there, and your sales are hurting, change your mindset. Train your mindset with the right mindset, the right attitude. And you're going to start to notice your performance has improved. Because that's where it all starts, my friends. No one becomes a millionaire or 100 millionaire or a billionaire because they got lucky. They thought a certain way. They trained a certain way. And so they perform that certain way. Now, certain people, when they get to that level, their mind starts to get corrupted. That happens. The world we live in today. But you got to think about that. I think about it all the time. And for me, personally, I train the best way that I could. And the most important thing for me is my mind. It's the greatest gift God gave to human beings. The only problem is when you start to increase in knowledge, you start to gain power and understanding. It could also corrupt you as well. So just think about the most powerful tool we have is our mind. So ask yourself this question, how am I training my mind? Is my attitude right? Am I performing with the right attitude? Because your attitude, which means your actions and what you do, will be contagious for the better or for the worse. So this all interacts, cause and effects. Mindset and attitude, excuses and results. You can't escape that. So again, the way you train your mind is the way you will perform. There's a Chinese proverb, 谁要 he train, 谁要 he fight. So think about that, guys. Because if you change the way you train your mind, or if you're working out, with weights or running or whatever the case, if you adjust and you change the way you train for the better, and the only way you know to change for the better is you have to understand what doesn't work. You train your mind to make changes that need to be changed. Sometimes we're stubborn. We get stuck on stupid that we don't want to make the changes. Why? Because we feel comfortable with that. For me personally, I'm comfortable being uncomfortable. I stay sharp that way. I did a video on work harder, not smarter. That's a euphemism that people use. I disagree with that. You have to work smarter so that you can work harder and become better. Again, how you train is the way you're going to perform. There's another euphemism. Practice makes perfect. Not true. Perfect practice, the way you train, is going to create the right or the perfect results or outcome, right? So that's the way you're going to perform. The mind is a beautiful thing. It's a powerful thing. Life is simple for me. Sales is simple. Business is simple. People just like to make it complicated with all the derivatives and all of the things that should not be in business. But if you break it down and you peel the onion and you keep it simple, then you're going to be able to train better so that you can perform better. Does that make sense? And like I said many times, some of you who follow me and hear me, to me, the greatest profession in the world is being a salesman. It's amazing because a true salesman solves problems. A true business owner truly cares about their customers and provides quality products and services. But it's the way you train your mind, a way of thinking, is the way you're going to perform, is the way you're going to take actions, the way you're going to speak. Hope you guys are with me on this. I hope this is giving you something to think about. I hope it's motivating you, inspiring you, and encouraging you. Now, I'm not the kind of guy that speaks $10 words and these big PhD words that don't mean nothing, they have no power. I want to keep it simple, with simple words that have more power and more meaning. So, before we leave, I want to thank all of you who have been following me and subscribing to my YouTube channel, following me in my social sites, commenting on my content, sharing my content. I do appreciate that. I do this for you. I don't really need to do it, but I love doing it. Again, if you're watching this on YouTube, hit the subscription button below, share it with others, and also share your honest and sincere comments. Till we speak again, I say goodbye for now. This is Paul Cruz with the Paul Cruz Show. And remember this, the way you train is the way you will perform. Have a great day. Bye for now.